Hi, this is Craig Lang with Video Blog Week 32. We did one earlier in the video blogs about self-inquiry and self-knowledge, and the follow-up here is some practical things from my practice on the starter kit for those of you who are clients and some of you who aren't. The starter kit can be bought online for a very inexpensive price through inquiring in the office, and there's a section of self-inquiries in the prescriptive restoration page. And there's about 7 or 8 of them, and I'm going to go through them very briefly here. And as expressed in the other video blog, if you want more information about inquiry, you can go to that. And then as a follow-up here, or in a nutshell, an inquiry is like throwing a boomerang, and we throw the boomerang out, which is the thought form or the question. And then we sort of like planting a seed. We don't go digging up the seed to see if it's sprouting or not. We just let it do its thing. And this is, again, from my teacher, something that he had learned and something that I had refined through being with him. And that is, you just let go, and then your answer comes back sometimes in a form that's sort of surprising. But one way to use inquiry is to focus when one's in a down moment, as talked about in finding ways to raise your energy in that video blog, is finding something to appreciate or be grateful for, especially in the morning when waking up. So an inquiry could be, what am I grateful for, or what can I find appreciation for? And sometimes it might even be as simple as the fact that I'm breathing and that I'm awake and that I'm ready to start another wonderful day. And that's number 32 on the starter kit, finding appreciation and gratitude, because it can deactivate tension, and the energy of that follows our intention. So where our attention goes, our energy goes. And so if we're focused in our head a lot, then our energy goes into our brain. If we're focused in our body a lot, then energy goes into our muscles. The next self-inquiry is, am I accepting what is? And these are the way to hold these is to, I find that I have to be curious and have to find a way to be curious too. So am I accepting what is? In other words, am I accepting what is going on in this moment? And we'll find a sense of like, we're sort of clenched. We're not accepting, and there's a sense of a clench down inside too. And so these are all based on some of the work of Byron Katie too, called Byron Katie's called The Work, and this is inner work, right? Another form of the question can be, is peace already here? And it's a great question to get curious about when we're in tension, because this is the way to access natural curiosity. If we find that we're not curious, then, is peace or curiosity, or is something already here before I have a chance to think about it? It's one way to go there. As far as the end of the day stuff, so those are sort of nice during the day. Am I accepting what is? Is peace already here? In the morning, it's nice to have the appreciation or the gratitude one. And then later on in the day, we might find ourselves in a state of tension, and we could ask, when did my day go wrong? And we can start to integrate, like, and it doesn't matter any more than maybe just sitting in a chair for a few minutes and being really very real with ourselves, and really being open to an answer that might not be all that pleasant. When did my day go wrong? Oh, it went wrong when I did a judgmental statement towards someone I was talking to, or I cut somebody off on the freeway inadvertently, or it could be anything where we went unconscious and we caused someone else to become unconscious or triggered. And when did my day go wrong? Remember, it's not this like, I gotta know from the point of view of having to solve the problem, but it's just being curious enough, like a child is, about that cool color in front of them, or the ant, or this person that's staring at them making funny faces. The child mentality here is great, but not the ignorant innocence of the child, but the wise innocence of the adult that it's moving through. Another one that, when we're at a choice point, is this serving me? And another variation on that, these are down the list on that page on the starter kit. Is this serving me, or is this true? Is this statement true? Is this? So these two are really, really nice. I find, is this serving me? It's like, it could even be a thought form. Is this thought form serving me in the current moment? And then a follow-up to that question can be, how does that thought feel? And how does that judgment feel? Or is that thought true? Is this statement true? This person's telling me. But often this is just inner work about things. Is this way I'm eating serving me? Is this lack of self-care serving me? And then we can find ways to be very real with ourselves about what's really serving us, and what's going to help us move forward, because it's sort of important to get really curious and then be willing to see the answer that we sometimes know isn't going to be all that fun to see. And then finally, what is life without judgment, or what is life like without judgments? And that's a way to feel around, maybe at the end of the day when we see, like, God, we had a lot of unconsciousness. And this is the value of self-inquiry, is it's sort of always available, and this energy through self-inquiry of this broad awareness that we could call a canvas. The canvas is like everything you see on your projected screen here. There was once a blank canvas. If you turn your computer off, that's the blank canvas. Just like the painter or the artist has a blank canvas. And the divine, in a sense, the divine canvas is pretty empty, and that's awareness. And when we sit in silence enough, you begin to see, I know that I began to see, that it all arises out of this blank canvas or nothingness, but it's not an empty nothingness. It's I believe the alchemists call it the first matter. It's sort of a primordial soup. And I would not in any way venture to call it a chaotic soup in any way, shape, or form. From where we perceive it, it appears chaotic, but I would not say that it is chaotic in any way. I'd follow up with the Taoist statement that everything is perfectly managed in the unborn. Then we begin to see that what some alchemists call as the chaotic first matter is not true, and that's just perception points coming from the mind, which is trying to make order out of something that it cannot comprehend. Just like, how can an ant comprehend a human, what it's doing? And how can we comprehend the greater intelligence of how the planets move around the sun, and how the sun moves around the galaxy, and how atoms relate to other atoms, and how silica can change to calcium, and how the great alchemists talk about the philosopher's stone and changing and expanding gold. And there are things that have and been going on for hundreds, maybe thousands and thousands of years that many people are going to become to see, and you will come to see that there are things that we can do that are beyond the normal places where we have been taught that we can do. So, and these inquiries are ways to get real with ourselves. It's sort of a first step on that path to be able to do more and be more than what we currently are. So I hope this was helpful. Video blog week 32. Some really focused self-inquiries and ways to use them, whether it's beginning of the day, end of the day, during the day. And would love any feedback if anybody cares to give on the YouTube channel here, or on my website. There's a place to contact us, healthalchemy.com. HEALTHALKEMY. Self-inquiries and methods for specifics with these. Have a beautiful day.